So for today, I want to have this conversation about not losing focus. Let me start off by asking a question to the room. Does in history of mankind, history of the world, right? How many people do you guys have known to have walked on water? Peter knew the power that Jesus had, right? Because once the disciples saw this figure walking on water, and he said that he was Jesus. Peter was like, well, if it's you, like I know you, I know the power you have, like I know all you have to do is tell me to come and I can come, right? So he was like, if this really you, like tell me to come to do what you doing, I want to do this, because I can know if I can do what you doing, then it's really you. I imagine like Peter realized what he was doing. I was like, bro, I walking on water right now. Like what the hell is going on, right? And then in that split second, he started to realize like where he was, right? He was on the water in the middle of this storm, all of this stuff going on. And that's when like he started to lose focus on Jesus, right? Lose focus on the word that he was given, and started to focus on his environment and things that was happening around him, and got distracted and started to sink. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the new episode of the Miles High podcast. As always on this podcast, the vision and goal is to entertain, educate, and elevate you miles high above your fears, your doubts, and any limitations that you may think exist, always knowing that those limitations only exist in your mind. All right? So for today, I want to have this conversation about not losing focus. Let me start off by asking a question to the room. Does in history of mankind, history of the world, right? How many people do you guys have known to have walked on water? One person. One person. Two. You say you know for the Peter part.
Go get your Bible.
So we
Get your
we got two people saying one. Well, we got one person saying one person saying two, one person saying he ain't sure. He ain't sure about two. But actually the answer is two. So in history of mankind, there have been two persons who have walked on water. And I want to read this passage. First of all, to prove it, right? Prove it to the doubters, to people who ain't sure. And also to just teach on an important principle as well, right? So the story is found in Matthew chapter 14. So this comes on the tail end of Jesus feeding the 5,000 and ministering to the 5,000. And after he fed them, he told his disciples to go ahead in the boat, and he's gonna follow up. He was finishing up this person in the crowd, and I guess wrapping up things with the sermon and the stuff that he was doing on at that time in that place. So his disciples went ahead of him. So I want to pick up at Matthew 14 verse 25. All right. So shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them being the disciples who were already on the boat, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and they cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," Jesus said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. Hear it? Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on water, and came towards Jesus. Okay, so first, there you have it. There's your proof. In history of the world, you have two people that walked on water. First thing is, a lot of people don't even realize that Peter walked on water, right? We had that story. Mm-hmm. We've been hearing that story, and we just breeze past that point. We know that Jesus walked on water. We see it referenced throughout our lives. And we've read before where it said that Peter walked on water, but we don't pay attention to it, right? We don't it doesn't resonate with us that Peter walked on water. So I want to make that known. But Peter didn't only walk on water, right? Peter walked on the word or the command that Jesus gave him. Not only that, taking it back, Peter knew the power that Jesus had, right? Because once he saw him, once the disciples saw this figure walking on water, and he said that he was Jesus. Peter was like, well, if it's you, like I know you, I know the power you have, like I know all you have to do is tell me to come and I can come, right? So he was like, if this really you, like tell me to come to do what you doing, I want to do this, because I can know if I could do what you doing, then it's really you. And Jesus is like, all right, come. And on that word, Peter, stepped out of the boat and was able to walk on water. So continuing in the passage, so picking up at verse 30. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, Lord, save me. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. You of little faith, he said, why did you doubt? And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, truly, you are the Son of God. So, I said and showed you where Peter walked on water. So Peter was actually walking on water, right? And, in the process of walking on water, I imagine like Peter realized what he was doing. I was like, bro, I walking on water right now. Like, what the hell is going on, right? And then in that split second, he started to realize like where he was, right? He was on the water in the middle of this storm, all of this stuff going on. And that's when like he started to lose focus on Jesus, right? Lose focus on the word that he was given, and started to focus on his environment and things that was happening around him, and got distracted and started to sink. And, was scared, feared for his life, and cried out to Jesus, and Jesus saved him. So the principle I want to tap into here is a couple of things, a couple of principles. The first I've already went over, right? When Peter stepped out and was given the word from Jesus to come, right? Come and walk on the water with me. That's stepping out on faith, right? Once you step out on faith and you step out on a word that you have been given, like you're able to do miraculous things, right? Things that you can't even fathom. And in that process, right, you're very likely to get distracted because of your excitement, because of your shock, because of the shock of those around you and the reaction of those around you. Like you just start to lose focus. And in losing focus, right, it causes us to sink. It causes us to not be able to do the things or to do the miraculous things that we have been doing. So in not losing focus, my challenge to everyone today is to remain focused on not only God and the figure that's standing in front of us, guiding us, right, or calling to us, but remain focused on the word that we are given. A lot of us have these visions that we have received, have been given a word, where God told us that He wants us to do something, or that He is going to do something using us, or like a mixture of any of those. Walk out on that word. Focus on that word. Don't pay attention to like what's going on in your environment, what's going on in your surroundings. Don't worry about the doubters, right? Because I think, sometimes when we are in a group, right? And you look at the disciples, and in that particular story, like Peter was the only disciple to step out. Peter was the only disciple to even acknowledge that, man, if you are Jesus, or if you are who you say you are, you could tell me to do whatever, and I'll be able to do it. Like I'm certain that if a number of the disciples had said that, or had asked Jesus to tell them to come, like it would have been more than two people who would have walked on water, but it was only Peter. So sometimes we have to be, or we are like the only individuals who are able or capable of stepping out on faith because of what we believe in the word that we know, right? That's the first thing. So we're gonna look different. We're gonna look awkward. We're gonna look weird. We're gonna look, a bit not like those who are around us, right? And sometimes we allow their doubt and the words that they tell us to cause us to lose focus off the word that we were given from God. And, that's the focus that we should have. That's the only place our focus should be. Because whenever and if ever we lose focus on that thing, like that's when things start going bad for us. That's when we start sinking. And it's very easy for us to start sinking, right? As long as we're focused on God, like things just happen the way that they should. Things work out the way that we want them to work out. Like like I said, we're able to do miraculous things that no one else has ever done, things that no one else is ever capable of doing. Like we're able to do, and it's because we have our focus on our guide, right? We have our focus on the word that we're given. But when doubt started to sink in, right, and we start to question ourselves, like, should I be here? Should I be able to walk in this water? Man, how safe is this? Like, what if I take a step left or right, or take a wrong step and I start to sink? Like, what happens then? Man, this wind is blowing, man. I don't have the equipment in order for me to swim and not drown, if I were to sink. And we start to think of all of these things that can go wrong instead of focusing on what we need and should be focusing on. And even in all of that, right, we lose focus, we start to sink. Even in those moments, right, we're still able to cry out to God and be like, Lord, just help me. Like, I sink in, I lose focus, I apologize. Just help me, right? And God is gonna to get us out of the situation that we're in. He's gonna scold us now. He's gonna be like, yo, you have little faith. Like, why must you doubt? Why is it so easy for you to doubt? Why can't you just trust the word and the vision that I've given you? Just focus on that. Like, I don't want you to worry about anything else that's going on, whatever it is, however it's happening, whatever's happening in the world around you, right? Our environment, this kingdom environment that I'm placing you in, this kingdom environment that I am putting you in the midst of, even in the storm. You're able to not be affected by what's going on around you because you're walking in the word that I've given you and walking on that vision that you have. And that's where our focus should lie. For the past couple of months, I've been going back and forth, even with my focus, right? And, just kind of being discouraged. And I talked about it on a few of my episodes recently, and just saying how, man, I just want to continue to encourage and just tell my stories and tell my experiences in hopes of, helping someone who may be in the same situation, right? And I was reminded of this, reminded of the focus that we needed to have, especially in these times, right? The times where we're uncertain of things, times where, like, we're not sure exactly what we're doing or how we're doing it, right? And we let these environments that we're in, these people that we're around, to start to speak into our lives and cause us to lose track. But even in those moments, like, cry out, call out, tell God, hey, I'm sorry I lost my focus. I'm sorry I lost faith. I'm sorry I started to doubt. And, he'll scoop you up and, put you back on that path. But don't lose focus, right? I think our focus should always be on the word that we're given. Peter, like, I think everyone who has, been privy to the kingdom message, like, we understand the power that the word has, right? When God wanted to create earth, like, he used words. He didn't use magic. He didn't wave a wand or use his hand. Like, he used words. He spoke word into the earth, and everything was formed and everything was done well. In that same light, he uses words to bring things to pass, right? He speaks into our lives. He speaks into the lives of others. And he gives word, and The Bible says, "Thy, excuse me, Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path." Right, and that's the path that we're continually supposed to be walking on. What we're supposed to be focused on, and it's the word, right? Just focusing on that word, not worrying about any distractions, not worrying about what goes on around us that we feel should be affecting us, but it doesn't, and we are not sure why. But it's because we're incubated in this kingdom and incubated in this system, and it's all about us just staying focused on the things that we should stay focused on. You want to say so?
Mm-mm.
You look pensive. So, yeah, man, that's my encouragement. I like I said, I too was dealing just with some challenges, I guess from a focus standpoint, right? And just being discouraged or just unsure of certain things. And, again, this word encouraged me and really helped me to get back on track, right? To get back on that path of light, the path of the word that I've been given. And, I know it's going to happen again. I'm going to go through this cycle where I start to doubt, or I start to not be sure, not be certain of things. And it's just a constant reminder of this word of focus and staying focused. And that's in everything that we do, right? Whether it's in your personal life, your spiritual life, or your professional life. I think it's something that it's a word that we should be reminded of on a daily basis. Like, okay, let's stay focused today. Every time we wake up, let's be focused today. What is it that I need to focus on? What is it that I need to ensure that I'm not distracted and losing my way in this path that I'm walking on? Yep.
Well, I think it's easier said than done, because focus is so hard these days because we have so much distractions. We have social media. We have, comparing ourselves and our journeys and our paths to other people. And so I think it's really hard to focus. So, like, what are some of your tips to help people to, like, because it's easier to say, oh, stay focused and, look straight, but like, let's be real.
Yeah. So daily mantras, right? Speak positive words into your life as you wake up. Like I was saying just now, like when you wake up, okay, let's stay focused today. What is it that I need to focus on? What is it that I can focus on? How is it that I can stay focused? Well, I'm not going to get distracted by naysayers, right? I'm going to remove myself from around these environments or these groups who don't speak positively into not only my life, but into the word that I've been given and into the vision that I have, right? I'm going to find my tribe, find my people, find persons who are like-minded, right? So that we can motivate and push each other. I'm going to continue to study, right? Continue to study the word, continue to educate myself and gain additional knowledge or more knowledge in what it is that I have to do and what it is that I'm doing. And, just, I think,
take breaks.
Yeah, take breaks. It's all about a positive mindset. Just staying, when those ideas or those thoughts of fear or doubt creep in, like replace those with faith. Replace those with the word. You speak into your life the things that you want to get out of your life. And I think that comes with the focus that we need in order for us to gain the progress that we want to have in our walk, in our journey, our purpose journey, our life journey, and everything that we do. Remaining focused is key. All right. So for today's milestone, in line with staying focused and staying on track, I wanted to leave a quote with you from Tony Robbins. And this quote says, "Your life is controlled by what you focus on." Simple as that. Whatever you focus on, that's what's going to control your life. So if you focus on the negative things and focus on the things that you don't have or the capabilities that you don't possess, then that's going to control your life. You're going to go through life saying, man, I don't have this, so I can't do this and I can't do that. But if you focus on the positive things, man, I have this word, I have this vision, these are my capabilities. These are my strengths. I have a network of individuals who can help me and assist me in the things that I need to do. If those are the things that we are focusing on, that you are focusing on, then chances are you're going to be successful in all that you do because you're focusing on the right things. All right. So your life is controlled by what you focus on. All right. So I just wanted to encourage you today. Let's stay focused. Just remain focused on the word that we have been given, the vision that we have been given for our lives. Let's stay on track. Let's accept the times where it's hard for us to stay on track, and we start to get distracted or start to get unmotivated. Like Cherie suggested, take some breaks, take some time off to refocus, right? But get back on track, get back focused, because these are the things, or that is the thing. Remaining focused is the thing that is going to ensure that what is around us, what's going on around us, doesn't affect us, right? Because we're focused on something else, right? It's like the horse in a horse race who has the blinders on, right? They're not worried about what's going on in their lane. They're only able to focus on the lane that they're in, right? And that's the kind of vision, that's the kind of sight that we need, when we're on our journey. All right. So I just wanted to encourage you today. As always, the vision and goal of this pod is to entertain, educate, and elevate you miles high above your fears, your doubts, and any limitations that you may think exist, always knowing that those limitations only exist in your mind. All right, until next time, you guys stay blessed.